Hello, everyone. It's Siren Records Monterey, and it's Fresh Catch Friday. And we have some picks of the week and a stack of records to talk about. If you're new here, hi, welcome. We're located in Monterey, California, and every Friday we'd like to do a little roundup of some of the new releases and reissues that just came in on vinyl. Lots of stuff comes in, but this is just like a hand-picked stack. Try to go as fast as I can. If it's too long for you, posting the list down below. It's in alphabetical order, and you can feel free to skip ahead, okay? So first of all, let's start out with picks of the week, shall we? First thing up is Ceramic Animals, Sweet Unknown, and this is on the Easy Eye Sound label. Now these guys, they're from Doylestown, Pennsylvania, and they kind of forge glam, post-punk, psych rock all together in this like nice meld of indie rock. Can I just say though, I really don't like their name, that Ceramic Animal. We already have Glass Animals, and I don't know, Ceramic Animal. It doesn't. I don't like it, but like I say, it's they've been kicking around for long enough to where they're not going to change that, and whatever, it is what it is. So anyway, they kind of impressed Dan Arbach from the Black Keys. That's his Easy Eye Sound label there, and he signed them, invited them to come down to Nashville to write and record their fourth record, and together they created this album that kind of melds together the kind of glitter stomp of T-Rex and the slow rush of Tame Impala, as well as kind of this melodicism that Todd Rundgren used to have in his records. So it's kind of like a real nice thing. If you're a big fan of indie rock the way I am, you'll probably like this. Now this is on limited edition Blue Smoke vinyl, and that is my pick, kids. So it's a good one. And not just that, but I have something else I feel like is worth a real mention here, and that's Rise Against, and it's Nowhere Generation. This is on Loma Vista. Now, Rise Against is an American punk rock band from Chicago, and they formed in 1999, and they're rooted in hardcore punk and melodic hardcore. They emphasize melody and catchy hooks, and they're very known for their outspoken social commentary. They cover like a wide range of topics in like political injustice, animal rights, environmentalism, humanitarianism. So anyway, they didn't really achieve mainstream success. They were independent for a while. I think they finally got signed to DreamWorks, which was a Geffen thing in like 2003, 4, something like that. And anyway, release after release, they started getting hold more and more, until I think like in 2008, their music kind of shifted towards a more accessible, radio-friendly sound, and they kind of went up and up from there. Anyway, this here, it's their 9th studio album, and it's an album that's dedicated to critically examining the plight of generations Y and Z as they face these increasingly challenging circumstances, living through various crises and recessions only to be labeled as entitled and fragile, confused kids. And so Rise Against, to kind of fight back against these mischaracterizations. Finally got it out. They want to stand in solidarity with the so-called Nowhere Generation on this album. So the cool thing about this, okay, this is a deluxe. It features a distinctive spinning wheel gatefold. So see this little thing here? This is the wheel, and this is die cut. So all the images like change as you spin the wheel around, which is, I can't do it through the plastic, but you get the idea, right? And there's also a 12-page album art booklet insert, and versions of the album standouts, Nowhere Generation and Broken Dreams, are included on a special 7-inch here. So this is on deluxe red vinyl, and the bonus 7-inch is on red black splatter. Okay, but anyway, real nice piece of art that they managed to make and incorporate into their socially conscious, heavy somewhat lyrics, but very meaningful. They put a lot of time and effort into lyrics, and yeah, if you want to get your rock on, there you go. Okay, so now we will get to it, because I'm going to try to go fast for you, okay? First up, this is great. This is Alabama Shakes, Boys and Girls. This is on ATO, 2012 debut from the Athens, Alabama-based outfit. The band was originally formed when lead singer-guitarist Brittany Howard met her classmate Zach Cockrell during like a high school psychology class, and they started writing music together. And anyway, they have so many different styles that they experiment with, including like roots rock, progressive rock, soul music, country music, classic rock, and it all melds together as Alabama Shakes. Now, as you can see, this is part of that RSD Essentials series that came out, and that's why this is the 2022 version, and it is on what they call black and white explosion vinyl. So it's like a real it's sort of real smoked out kind of black to white is the way that it goes. Can I just tell you too, recently I was in Mexico, I told you, and I saw Brittany Howard open one of the shows for My Morning Jacket, and she's phenomenal. Just blew everybody away. Beautiful. All right, next up, this is Beirut Artifacts, and this is on the Pompeii label. It's a new double album, compiles the unreleased tracks, early works, EPs, and B-sides, and it arrives via frontman Zach Condon's own Pompeii Records. That's his label that this is being put on. It's 26 songs, so you can kind of sink your teeth into hidden gems, and each, you could really do kind of a review of like each side of this record, because it's got so much stuff packed into it from the early days onto the real well, the great thing about it, it's got this sense of progression for you as the listener. And the first half is like the record's made up of early EPs. So the first hour or so is like simple, stripped down Beirut stuff, and the second LP, it's more experimental, and it's like got this really fascinating creativity and things that thought starters, things that make you like kind of think about things. It's a complete treasure trove of weirdness, and it's got this strange electronica, laid back lounge jazz, and there's also a new track, Fountains and Tramways. And so for the Beirut fan that wants to get into some of the early stuff and the special things that don't get released, there you go. Now this is an odd little thing. I don't know what this is doing here, but this is Charles Brown's Cool Christmas Blues. Okay. This is on from Craft Recordings, and this pressing marks the very first vinyl release of the Blues Titans 1994 Christmas album. So hasn't been available on vinyl before, but I still don't know, like I said, what are we doing with a Christmas album right now? Never mind. Nominated for Best Traditional Blues Album at the 1995 Grammy Awards. It's a laid-back set of primarily original material, including his modern Yuletide classics Please Come Home for Christmas and the top 10 chart hit Merry Christmas Baby, while he puts his own twist on Silent Night. This is on white and blue marble vinyl, and if you're craving a little Christmas, here you go. All right, so then we have a couple of reissues that are interesting. This is Can, Monster Movie, Monster Sky, and this is on the Mute label. And so they're excited to announce the reissue of Can's debut album here, Monster Movie. So it's got sounds of Jimi Hendrix, Captain Beefheart, and Velvet Underground kind of ringing throughout the whole thing. These guys left Holger. I don't think I can say these guys' names right. Holger Zuke and Ermin Schmidt left behind their careers in academia to form this influential group of the late 60s, Can. So, together with the rest of the band, they recorded this debut album in a castle near Cologne in 1968. And then the record was then remastered in 2004 from the original tape for a CD release. It was overseen by Holger Ermin, and it was to refine how it was always intended to be heard. Anyway, this is on limited edition sky blue vinyl, and I think a lot of folks will be happy to be able to get that. Also, this is Soundtracks, and this is also on Mute, and it's a compilation of songs that Can had composed for different movies. And it was released in 1970, before the band started work on their second album. This record said goodbye to the band's original vocalist, Malcolm Mooney, who features on Soul Desert, and She Brings the Rain. He was replaced by Japanese singer Damo Suzuki. So bridging the gap between improvised rock jams of their early recordings, Monster Movie and Delay 1968, soundtracks also laid the foundations for their more electronic and experimental sounding work. This is on limited edition clear purple vinyl, okay? All right, next up, this is Carpenter Brute, Leather Terror, and this is Virgin Music International for this one. And it's after 2018's Leather Teeth, Carpenter Brute returns with Leather Terror. And it's the second of his imagined Leather trilogy. And it continues the story of Brett Halford, who seeks revenge on the men who caused his trauma, the men who once stood between him and his high school cheerleader, Kendra. What the hell? Okay, the new album is influenced by martial, industrial, and metal sounds while leaving room for more pop and atmospheric parts. Carpenter Brute is the investigator of violence, the soundtrack to Brett's relentless revenge. Okay, I wonder what part 3 will be. All right, next up, let's see, we have Eric Clapton, Lady in the Balcony Lockdown Sessions. This is on the Mercury Studios label. So in February 2021, Eric Clapton's live shows at the Royal Albert Hall were canceled due to the global pandemic. So he was determined to play, and he brought the band together in the English countryside, as you do. And in the absence of a live audience, he decided to record those performances. The release is the culmination of their sessions together at Cowdray House, West Sussex, England. This is a 2 LP set here. It's on 180 gram limited edition transparent yellow vinyl. All right. This is Gerald Clayton, Bells on Sand, and this is on the Blue Note label. Pianist and composer Gerald Clayton. He explores the impact and abstraction of time on his second album for Blue Note. It's featuring contributions from his mentor Charles Lloyd on sax, his father John Clayton on bass, longtime friend and peer Justin Brown on the drums, and a new collaborator Morrow on vocals. It includes new original pieces by Catalan composer Federico Mompou, his uncle Jeff Clayton, and 2 stunning piano solo versions of the standard My Ideal. So there you go. Next up is Calm Trues, Galactic Melt. This is on Ghostly International. And a decade ago, the Terminal was booting up and sounded, and Galactic Melt launched into the atmosphere for the first time. All right, so Seth Haley's Calm Trues project arrived in full. A graphic designer based in New Jersey at the time, he found sound on his synthesizers and sparked an immediate nostalgia response. He's tapping into classic sci-fi and proto-electro in a way that felt early 80s in scope, but is also very remarkably weird. And he unknowingly had stepped into this synth wave, though this tag kind of didn't really, last as a specific genre per se. But to Haley, this was the space to explore and a story to tell, and he just does this thing of he resonates with like a legion of fans, so it kind of led him to touring the world and bringing this music out there. And he also has a high profile remixes that he's done for Twin Shadow, Neon Indian, and Daft Punk. So it's very bold and imaginative and very unapologetically cosmic. The set occupies a beloved coordinate in the Calm Trues catalog. So to celebrate its 10th anniversary here, Haley and Ghostly Records have repressed the long sold out double LP and added 5 unreleased tracks to the expanded digital edition. Oh, here comes the motorcycle. Wouldn't be a Friday without it, would it? Okay. Anyway, it's gives this classic its true treatment it deserves for this milestone anniversary, and it's on black and orange vinyl. Okay, then we have, believe it or not, you guys, the 50th anniversary of Marvin Gaye, What's Going On. This is on Motown, of course, and it features a direct-to-analog mastering from the original tapes. Included are 4 rare cuts making their vinyl debut on this one. Highlighted by the stripped version of the title song plus 6 mono single mixes and B-sides. This is pressed on 180 gram, 2 LPs in a tip-on heavy stock gatefold jacket with printed sleeves featuring lyrics, track details, and a brief essay. And the main essay is by this poet, Hanif Abdurrahquib. Gosh, don't know if I said that right either. But anyway, yes, classic and now all deluxe and expanded, and you get all kinds of stuff in this one. So, God, it's hard to believe that's a 50th anniversary of that, but hey, time flies, right? Next up, it's a reissue of Girl in Red. Not so much just a reissue. This just came out in 2021, but it's on colored vinyl now, so it's therefore lumped in with new releases. And it's on the Amped label. It's called If I Could Make It Go Quiet. It's the debut album from Girl in Red. The Girl in Red is Mariealvin, and this is like her solitary conversations on the road. It's an album that it's brimming with things that we wish we could say to others, but we tell ourselves instead. And it's got her. The big song on here was Serotonin, and that was she's collabing with Billie Eilish's brother Phineas on that song. It's a huge pop anthem if you remember that, and she's kind of speaking to her struggles with mental health, and she's flexing her instrumental chops with the album closer. It would feel like this. Anyway, this comes now on, well, nothing's off limits with this chick, let's say that, okay? This comes now on black and red vinyl. That's why it's considered a new release, okay? Here for you now. Next up, this is Mayor Hawthorne, Man About Town, and this is on Vagrant Records. And this is his 4th studio album. It's an American singer, Mayor Hawthorne. This was originally released in 2016. And the thing is, his work with Daryl Hall of Hall & Oates has clearly influenced him, almost to the point where, he sort of evokes the melodic soul pop of early Hall & Oates, maybe even a little too much here. It's like that sunny, blue-eyed soul man stuff. And anyway, he kind of doesn't really extend his range much here. And, it's kind of, he overworks. Like he's got this falsetto, and there's a song on here called Breakfast in Bed that it's kind of like a little, much. But anyway, he frequently tips his hat to Daryl Hall, mirroring his tone, his inflections, and his phrasing. So I don't know if it's a good idea for those guys to work together, because I don't think it's pushing this guy anywhere out of his comfort zone. So I don't know if that's good or bad, but it includes a 12-page color photo booklet as well, and it's the Vagrant 25th anniversary, and part of that series. Now up is the Helicopters, Eyes of Oblivion. This is on Nuclear Blast America. Legendary Swedish high-energy rock and roll band Helicopters, formed in 1994, and well, let's see. There's one of their guys, Nick Anderson, who does the vocals and guitar. He's kind of renowned for his work when the death metal band Entombed. And anyway, they're kind of considered to be one of the most important and influential Swedish rock bands. I guess the Hives would be another one. Anyway, they've reunited in 2016, and they've kind of been unstoppable ever since then. So it's very like adrenalized 1970s inspired hard rock. So they kind of remind you of Kiss sometimes. When it comes to the guitars, their spirit of the 1970s is very apparent, and if you kind of close your eyes and listen, you kind of get that memory of Ace Frehley in this band. It's very much that way. It's heavy blues with this very prominent, potent piano in the works too. it's very strong and emotional. All the tracks have this bluesy catch, and then also the drums play a very important part in this band too. It's very like 70s rock. Anyway, this comes on clear vinyl, and here for you now too. All right, now next up, this is kind of a surprise weird thing. This is Tito Jackson, Under Your Spell, and this is from the Sono recording group. California-based Tito Jackson, you know, he's supported on this debut album by an array of special guests, which I think that, you know, they're all listed here, which if that wasn't there, I just don't know if anybody would have kind of stepped out to be interested in an album of Tito Jackson. Not really, but anyway, he's got George Benson, Joe Bonamassa, Marlon Jackson, another Jackson brother there. Stevie Wonder is on this. Well, anyway, they all add their special talents to this, but above it all, he's got abilities as a singer, songwriter, and guitarist that nobody saw it coming. So it's it's produced and arranged very nice. It shines. It's a spectacular record, and it's destined for airplay, I think. Number of rave reviews on different formats, so here you go. Who knew? Tito Jackson. But okay, moving on. This is John 5 and the Creatures. It's called Sinner. It's on Big Machine Records. And this is one of the big knocks on guitarist solo albums, is that the tracks all start sounding alike. On John 5 albums, it's kind of the opposite. You may get rock, blues, country, hillbilly, and dark metal, and God knows what else, but it's always interesting and fun. Some songs come even like in kind of a humorous vein, but technically he's excellent, but he really seems to be enjoying what he's doing. This comes on yellow vinyl now, so that one's another ready to go. Okay, another one, Jungle Brothers, Straight Out of the Jungle. This is on Warlock Records, and like the Alabama Shakes, it's part of that RSD Essentials series. This is the debut album from the hip-hop group The Jungle Brothers, and the album marked the beginning of the Native Tongues Collective, which later featured popular artists such as De La Soul, A Tribe Called Quest, and Black Sheep. And it first came out in 1988. If you love the old school hip-hop, you're going to love this. It's on smoke-colored vinyl. Okay, this also very interesting release. This is Rokia Cone and Jackknife Lee, and this is called Bamanan. It's on Real World Records. Now, while she was one of the 10 powerful vocalists in the West African supergroup Les Amazones d'Afrique, you could be forgiven for not being familiar with the work of her. She's a Malian singer, but being in a group that was kind of had legendary Angelique Kidjo at the forefront, you know, you could be forgiven for not knowing who she is. But it shoots for the stars with this bold mashup of tradition and technology. And the reason for that is the rather unlikely pairing of her with Irish producer Jackknife Lee. Now, she might, you know, kind of be considered a newcomer. She's got a very, very unique and unusual, beautiful voice. And the thing that's weird about it is Jackknife Lee has made a career out of working with the really big names, and with producer credits for the likes of U2 and Taylor Swift and The Killers and people like that. So, and he even did the last 2 REM albums. So there was kind of a fear that like a big mainstream producer like this would opt to just, you know, mow over every nuance of her voice. But it really worked out between them, and it's really evident throughout listening to this record. And he always defers to the song, and you know, it's, I guess you could describe the whole vibe of it as like indie Afro beats, but I think that this collab did real good for these two. It actually, yeah, you might have been nervous at first, but turns out it works. This is Little Dragon, Best Friends. It's on Loma Vista, and they released a new album, Season High, back in April of 2017. Anyway, they've now shared this brand new song that was not found on that album called Sway Daisy, and now they've shared another new song, Best Friends, and it turns out both songs are on this 12-inch single. So Yukimi Nagano, she recounts a childhood friend who she felt so close to and even kept in touch with And then as they moved, of course, as people do, they, fall away and lose the thread. So this song is like a yearning to rediscover that confidant. And she imagines one day they'll meet up again, and the song ends kind of ambiguously with hope, so anyway, it's like dance and electronic music. It's light blue vinyl, and that's the 12-inch single here for you. Okay, next up we have all right, this is Meshuggah Immutable, and this is on Atomic Fire Records. Now, this is the 9th full-length release for this Swedish metal band, Meshuggah. They haven't returned to impress anyone but themselves, and this is the music that they like playing, and it just happens to sound unlike anything else really in metal. After 30 plus years in the game, they've neither quelled their thirst for Teutonic frenzy nor dried their well of dexterous musicality. So here we go. You can get this on black vinyl or limited edition red transparent vinyl, which is signaled by the yellow sticker there. It tells you, and it also lets you know that there's only 2,500 copies of the red vinyl. Plenty of the black, I guess. Okay, so that's here. Okay, then up we have Port Noir. This is called Cuts, and this is Sweden's groundbreaking rock act Port Noir. They return with their brand new album now, and it brings together elements of their past in both style and sound, while embracing the energy and passion of their live shows. So the band kind of ditched standard studio aids and allowed the songs to ebb and flow, and that kind of reflect, to have it be more like their live shows, creating songs that capture them where they have their real passion and beating heart for it. And it's a very energetic, intense, and it has a lot of musical depth. This is an indie exclusive on transparent blue vinyl, and of course there's no real indication. There is a little blue square here, and the back is blue. That's the color of the vinyl, but I think it really does only come that way, so it is what it is. All right, now this is Pup, The Unraveling of Pup the Band, and this is on Rise Records. This sees the unraveling as their reward for a decade of falling up in the most organic way. Now, ever since they started out into Topanga in 2010, this Toronto quartet has realized kind of escalating commercial and critical fortune for their music that is very shockingly energetic and galvanizing, but given how much of it is about feeling like the world's biggest fuck up, their name, after all, it's an acronym, PUP meaning pathetic use of potential, which I really love that. It's honest, dark, funny, very moving, incredibly catchy, their finest album to date. So that's, it's on a limited edition, what they call neon coral and black smush vinyl. Okay. And this one, okay, I'm in two minds about this. I know people are waiting for it, but anyway. Red Hot Chili Peppers, Unlimited Love. This is on Warner Records. Unlimited Love, the 12th studio album from the American rock band Red Hot Chili Peppers. It's produced by Rick Rubin, and the album reunites the band with guitarist John Frusciante. I don't know if I'm saying that guy's name right, but anyway, from the OG, John Frusciante, who left in 2009 and rejoined in 2019, replacing Josh Klinghoffer. So for those of you who are still invested in Red Hot Chili Peppers in 2022, this is the first album they have made with John Frusciante since 2006's End of an Era double album, Stadium Arcadium. So much of it sounds exactly like the premise that's been put out there. Four of these guys getting back together, no more, no less. It's just, on some level, it's respectable enough. It's like their fans are gonna love it, of course. The lineup is in their purest form. They're just ecstatically jamming and reveling and being in the same room again. So is it breaking any ground? No. Is it like really trailblazing anything new? No. But if you like them, this is for you. Now it comes in variety of ways. This is just the 17 song double LP that's indicated here. It's on black vinyl. Then it also comes as the deluxe edition that has it's a gatefold sleeve and it has a poster, and that's on 140 gram black vinyl, okay, and it's got printed inner sleeves on this one. And then I think that one is also, yeah, see here it tells you it's the deluxe edition there. And then there is the limited edition colored vinyl one here, and I think it's red, but it doesn't say. I'm sort of going by, I don't know, you guys. I think that it's red. I'm sorry, I don't know for sure. But, all right, that's for you there if you're into it. And this is Sunny Red Out of the Blue. It's on Blue Note. It's part of that Blue Note Tone Poet series. It's a gem of the Blue Note catalog, deserves much wider recognition than it has received. The alto saxophonist's lone album for the label was recorded in 2 sessions, with Wynton Kelly on piano, Sam Jones and Paul Chambers on bass, plus Roy Brooks and Jimmy Cobb on drums. Blue Note Tone Poet series here features all analog, remastered 180 gram vinyl, and deluxe gatefold packaging. Okay, now this I just have for cassette on you this week. The vinyl has not come out. It's probably next week. I think it's an import at this point. But anyway, the cassette's here, and it is Thomas Rhett, Where We Started. I don't know what label this guy's on, actually. We'll talk probably more about it next week when the vinyl comes in. But anyway, the thing about this guy, he's a multi-platinum selling country music person. This is his 6th album, his follow-up to the studio album, to Country Again Side A. Anyway, this guy has 3-time Academy of Country Music Awards, Male Artist of the Year, mainstream career that's yielded nearly 20 platinum and gold selling #1 hits. But anyway, notably on this, pop star Katy Perry is the guest on the album's title song and closing track, Where We Started. And so it's a Roots-style duet that offers sentimental, honest, and autobiographical reflection on the romance between Rhett Thomas and his wife of 9 years. So it's a consistent theme on this record, you know, the family man stuff. It's on smoke-colored cassette. Hard to see that. Nah, I'm sure you can't even pick that up in the camera. But anyway, yeah, smoke-colored cassette. Vinyl probably next week, okay? After that, we're going with, oops, I think I skipped one by accident. I'm sorry. But anyway, this is Bebe Rexha. This is Better Mistakes, and it is on the Warner Brothers label. Her sophomore album, she says it's been very challenging and fulfilling. She wrote it, recorded it, rewrote it, re-recorded it, and repeated that process in order to deliver an album that truly reflects who she is as a singer-songwriter. You know, she just ongoing themes of vulnerability and the cycle of self-destruction and self-realization and female empowerment. So there you go. All right, next up I'll talk about these two at the same time because it's Greatest Hits Volume 1 and 2, Linda Ronstadt, and it is on the Elektra Catalog group. So these were reissued on black 180 gram vinyl with this special textured jacket. If there's, you know, you can feel it's got that pebbled kind of feel to it, leather pebbled kind of feel to it. Well, anyway, this was the intention was to have these released for International Women's History Month, which was actually March, but these are just coming out today. 2 records showcase her stylistic versatility. She just kind of hops across different genres of music, from new wave to country to pop and rock, and she covers some of the most popular standards of her heyday, and she makes them completely her own. She does, hits from Different Drum to cover of the Eagles' Desperado, Holland Dozier and Holland's Heat Wave, and Buddy Holly's It's So Easy, as well as just like a lot of, her own hits too. So those are back on vinyl and 180 gram. Did I say that? I hope. Okay. Next up is Roxy Music, For Your Pleasure. This is that half-speed remaster, and it's on the Republic label. In 73, Roxy Music followed up their debut with For Your Pleasure, and this time they were able to spend more time in the studio, and resulted in a more elaborate and experimental production. Brian Eno's blend of tape loops are apparent on Bogus Man and Do the Strand, and it's often called the archetypal Roxy Music anthem. And the vinyl reissue is mastered at half speed, and it also features revised artwork with a gloss laminated finish. So yeah, it's I think you'd have to take the plastic off in order to see that, but anyway, I don't know if there's anything super glossy apart from the plastic, but once you take it off, I guess it's supposed to be reworked to be even shinier. And having said that, this is their debut, Roxy Music, and also through Republic, Half Speed. It's their self-titled seminal debut album. It was released in 1972. Firmly put Brian Ferry and Brian Eno at the forefront of the art rock movement. Their penchant for glamour was showcased in lyrics and immortalized in the 1950s style album cover. You know, that was the thing with them. Their album covers were always these, very fashionable, beautiful women, and that just always looked good, looked sexy. That was it. The reissue, again, Half Speed, remastered, and also features the revised artwork with the gloss laminated finish. So that is the deal. Next up, this is Sir Reg. This is Kings of Sweet Feck All. This is on the D Spots record label. Now this is a Swedish-Irish sextet, Sir Reg. They'll lift your spirits. Definitely, it's that raucous, rollicking, rambunctious slice of Celtic folk punk that will get you going. It was formed by Irishman Brendan Sheehy, who left his hometown in Dublin and headed to Sweden with a guitar and a dream, and put together the most amazing band possible, boasting songs that bring together everything from the issues of modern day society to finding the right bar on a Saturday night. So it's strong melodies, irresistible energy, and they have apparently a very explosive live show, and it's easy to see why. They have this really great reputation in the Celtic punk realm and rock scene, and since the fledgling band burst onto the scene in 2009, they've released 5 critically acclaimed albums and have performed on many of Europe's largest stages along bands like the Mahones, the Misfits, Thin Lizzy, the Real Mackenzies. So now this sees them return with their album number 6, on which they continue to stand with those struggling to make their voices and their opinions heard, and bolstered by songs of grit and passion without ever losing sight of the underdog spirit. So there we go. And this, just so you know, is an indie exclusive, and it is on what we're calling like a mauve colored splatter or marble look, not splatter. It's that kind of dusty pinkish purple color with some marbling in it. Okay. Next up is the soundtrack to Mamma Mia. Here we go again. This is on Polydor. This is the movie soundtrack featuring the songs of ABBA on picture disc for the first time, featuring bonus tracks I Wonder and The Day Before You Came. So there is what I can show you of the front picture there, and here's another one, but it's a double, so we don't know what those inside ones look like. Next up is Testament, The Formation of Damnation. Now this is on Nuclear Blast America, the 10th studio album from American thrash metal band Testament, and originally released in 2008. It was Testament's first album since 2001's First Strike Till Deadly, and their first of new material since 1999's The Gathering. So this is pressed on white with blue and green splatter vinyl, and it's limited to 2,000 copies. Now they've been kicking around for a while, haven't they? All right, this is Tanya Tucker, live from the Troubadour, and this is on the Fantasy label. So it features 15 songs performed by this legendary country artist. at the Troubadour in 2020. It included her smash debut single Delta Dawn and a cache of her #1 country hits and a medley of Bruce Springsteen's I'm on Fire and Johnny Cash's Ring of Fire, and 6 songs from her Grammy Award-winning album While I'm Livin'. This is on Black, Pink, and Blue Splatter. It's a double LP, and it's live. Next up, though, is the one we were just talking about, Tanya Tucker, While I'm Livin'. This is also on the Fantasy label, and it's the 25th studio recording by the legendary country music singer. 25th album, God, who knew? And her first Grammy Award winner for the Best Country Album. It was released in 2019, and the album was produced by Brandi Carlile and Shooter Jennings, and was her first album of original material since 2002. This highly acclaimed album includes the Grammy Award-winning Best Country Song, Bring My Flowers Now. It's a limited edition hot pink and black marble vinyl, and it also includes a download. Okay, this 10-inch is User. It's spelled U-S-E-R-X, but it's pronounced User. It's on Atlantic Records, and it's the brainchild of RIAA Gold certified singer-songwriter Matt Mason and artist, producer, designer Roswell. So those two were like hometown friends, but they had very diverse and opposite musical backgrounds. Throughout this project, they matched their unfiltered expression with this kind of kaleidoscopic musicality that they've honed their whole lives. So Matt Mason was raised by parents who played in heavy metal bands in his early childhood and who later started a prison ministry. So he, at one point, took his own songs, traveling the country with just a guitar and a notebook. So meanwhile, the other guy, Roswell, played cello and drums in school orchestra, and at age 12 taught himself to make beats, quickly becoming enchanted with the art of sampling. And here you have the result. I think this is on orange vinyl, I want to say, but I'm not positive, and there's, of course, no sticker. I think that's what that's all about. All right, and then this is Inon Zur. This is called Siberia, the World Before Original Game Soundtrack. This is on Decca US, and this is the original soundtrack to Siberia, the World Before, the 4th installment of the cult adventure video game series Siberia. The soundtrack also is a standalone, is a stunning and romantic suite for orchestra and solo pianist, featuring an intricate, highly melodic orchestral works by Emmy Award-winning composer Inon Zur, and featuring Grammy-nominated Emily Baer on piano. So it features concept drawings by Beirut Artifacts. Gosh, I never know if I'm saying these people's names properly. I'm just trying to phonetically sound it out. But anyway, disc 1 is on translucent brown Galaxy vinyl, and disc 2 is on what they call translucent Aqua Galaxy vinyl. And boom, that's it, you guys. Oh, apart from one that I left out of the mix by accident, and it is Skegz 50 push-ups for $1. And this is on Loma Vista, and it is a 6-track EP by this Australian surf music and garage rock band, plus pressed on limited edition baby blue vinyl, and features the singles Fun and Eat It. Okay, now we're truly done. I hope you all have a great weekend. I hope there was something interesting in there that caught your ear or made you think that you want to try to give it a listen. I think that there is some good stuff coming next week, and we're going to pick up a little more momentum. It's going to get a little more exciting in the weeks to come. So, as I said, have a wonderful weekend, and make good choices out there, and I'll see you next time. Bye.